or find other models. Like if your city doesn't have a Food Not Bombs chapter, maybe you start that. Maybe you talk to other people about that. Maybe, because part of it's just spreading ideas. Like people are plagued by bad ideas. Like they're watching bad content. They're doing dumb shit. And it's not always our fault. It's programming, right? It's what you have access to. So like, first find things, look out for things, try to see what you believe in morality and the universe and how good people can be and what we could be doing, right? Find good examples out there, right? That's what I would suggest to the youth. Like I work with in the school that I'm at, we have a program called IDL. It's interdisciplinary lab, right? And the project right now, and so I work with 2 grades. I work with 10th grade and 12th grade. And 10th grade is find a campaign for good. Figure out something that you could do, right? And it's interdisciplinary. It's supposed to involve math and science and ELA and such, you know? And then with the 12th graders, we're looking at do something innovative. Create a risk for yourself. Like learn to become a good person. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the subtext of it all. And it's fantastic. Like I'm in a progressive school and it's an awesome place and a lot of cool teachers, a lot of good students there. And it's not like that everywhere, right? Like it's very subjectified, right? Like it's very like, we're talking about math in this hour. We're talking about English in this hour. And that's what I really like about this IDL, interdisciplinary lab. And you could pull that out of the classroom. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be in a classroom. Do something and then also document it. Learn from your experience. Like write down, you know, I want to challenge this idea. Here's my reservations about it. Here's my interests and expectations about it. Now I'm going to go consult with people. Now I'm going to go do some research and find out who's doing that or whatever, what they're up to. And then reflect upon what I've done. Do I feel good about this? Why do I feel good? Is this of interest to others? Do others appreciate this as well, right? So like, I really feel like activism means to be active, right? And also, I mean, I'm a big believer in localizing. So like, activate your neighborhood, activate things. You know what I mean? Like, what is it you want to do? That's why the anarchist library started. That's why I did that. I'm like, I got too many books. I'm going to start something. I'm going to go and I'm going to start a library. Come to my house. I've got an underground library. Check out a book. Okay. You're not interested? Okay. We're going to do a movie night. Check out these movies. Okay. Well, we're going to do an open mic night. Check out, we're going to do a barbecue. You know what I mean? Just anything to socialize and network, you know? And so that's kind of what I would say to young youth interested in doing stuff, you know, and then, you know, network with people, find other people, you know, and then to support that is like, support passion, you know, like for adults, educators, parents, like encourage the development of passion, even if you don't understand it, like even if it's a gaming platform, like encourage the understanding of those things, encourage the engagement, right? Because that's what we need out of life in general, right? Like engagement, right? That's the solution to depression, right? Is engagement. It's not like necessarily a medication or whatever else. It's like what is it? The solution to alienation, right? It's connection. Solution to depression is connection. You know, like we're all humans navigating these skin suits, trying to figure out what the hell is real and right and just in an unjust world. And yeah, I think that just people could educate that and give a listen. Let the youth speak. Set them up. Give them a space at the table. Let's hear what they got to say. You know, like let's encourage them to be comfortable speaking. You know.
Yeah, I love it. Joey, thank you so much for your insight, for your knowledge, your example, your production. You know, you've given me a stage so many times to exercise my feelings and emotions in art. And for somebody who's coming up, who's trying to make their way, man, it really means a lot to have somebody who sees something in them, or at least maybe has some faith in them, or maybe sees some of themselves, you know, in that other person. And so, you know, for me personally, you've really been a great resource and friend since I've been here in Arizona over the past 20 plus years. Last question, Joey. So I just want to say thank you personally from Catalyst, from me. I'm speaking in third person now. Thank you very much, Joey. Last question. I believe I'm speaking for quite a few other people when I say thank you as well. But last question, Joe, in terms of price, how much does all this cost? Putting together the videos, maybe finding resources. How do you go about that if you don't have a lot of money to promote this kind of thing? You mentioned that you got a job at Kinko's and you were like, okay, well, here's where the paper is and here's where the copy machines are. So, at least I have those resources, at my feet now. The amount of connecting the dots that goes into it, but also the finances. How do you get around that, Joe, especially now that folks are struggling, employment's low, folks don't have financial opportunities like they may have had a few months before?
Yeah. It's an important point and question. And I'm a fan of Malcolm X as well. And it is by any means necessary, right? Like that was the whole push with mob action. It's like, look, we're going to organize, whether or not it's against the law. Like we have to organize. This is what we're up to, right? So it's like, there's ways to get involved with things that money is not the most important part, right? Okay. Like whatever your interests are, right? Like that's the important part, finding your interest and then find a way in, and don't take no for an answer. Like work around that, right? Get access to that, right? Like figure out any route in, right? Like, so, I mean, I'll give some weird examples, but like I considered, like, if you want access to a production facility, I would maybe hang out by that place, go meet somebody there, go talk to them, right? Linger around, make small talk outside of the place, so with the imaginary learning thing, I bought a light. I saw this YouTube tutorial on setting up a lighting system, and like that was one of my issues that I would need is a light. That was like 30, 50 bucks maybe with the stand, 60. I bought a drone because a full drone wouldn't fly in my yard. So I bought a cheap $40 drone, and I had access to do that, right? Like I had I have a job, so it's all right. Otherwise I would borrow, and I would ask. Like half the time, I think things don't happen because people don't bring them up. You got to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like I talked about having a golf cart. I mean, ask the gossip, for probably like 2 or 3 years before I ever had a golf cart. I was like, this is the way, man. Like we get golf carts, we're going to localize this. This could be a movement, right? Yeah. There's probably like 20 golf carts in my neighborhood now, right? Wow. But I talked about it for like 2 years, almost to the point where it's like, what are you going to do? And like that, at that point I had gotten like, money had come to me some way. Like it was an inheritance, and like I used $1,000 of it to get my own cart, right? But like I saw a free golf cart online the other day, right? You're gonna have to borrow things, but I really encourage borrowing. David Graeber, right? The anarchist philosopher, anthropologist, just passed recently. The first 5,000 years of debt, right? He's talking about how community often is built by small asks. Right? Like if I ask you for to cover my burrito, you know what I mean? Like you're probably not going to hound me about coming back for that. Like you're probably not going to bother me about it. But when you see me, you're going to be like, hey, remember, don't you owe me a burrito, bro? I mean, like I do owe you a burrito, bro. Let's go get one. You know what I mean? So like, and I do that all the time. I ask for stuff all the time. I do try to facilitate giving. Good. And I feel like a lot of times we have time, right? Like, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have an abundance of? And a lot of times you might have a lot of time. You might have a lot of space. You might have a lot of time to watch things, right? So like walking a dog might not feel like a big ask for you, but one of your neighbors might ask for that. And if you can supply that, then you've added a favor to this like indefinite ultimate favor list, right? Like we're all offering favors to each other all the time, so don't be afraid to ask for things, right? No one knows unless you ask, and then seek it out, work around whatever it is. What I don't want to like advocate for certain things. I just want to say that there are ways and means to get around things financially. Right? Like, so I did publish a book at Kinko's, and it was on the books for a long time. It was like Joey owes 50,000 clicks. Like that was written down on this board for like 2 months. And then it fell off the board. And then it wasn't spoken of again. You know what I mean? So like, and now I got the job there to do the book, but I spent 10 years there to like learn my way around it all, you know? But that, I mean, that's the big thing. It's like, don't be afraid to ask, and even ask for small things and return favors. You know, one of the things I did in my neighborhood that like, I'm like iconic for in my neighborhood now is that I offered people an hour. Imagine if someone would give you an hour of help, like how much more cleaning could you get done? How much, if they gave you an hour of tutoring, how much could you learn?
Yeah.
If they give you an hour to walk a dog or to watch their house while they leave town, like we have an abundant amount of resources, especially in this country, but in general, like we're swimming in resources. Seek those, understand that time is a resource, understand that space is a resource, understand that if you watch my bike while I go into this store, you just did me a favor that didn't cost you anything, that was outside of the financial system. And I think we really need to think sometimes about like, how do you handle things outside of the financial system? And it's favors, it's asks, it's 1,000 tiny favors. You know, that's kind of how I see communities developing. You know what I mean? Like I owe people in my neighborhood random little things, but I'm available, I'm present. And some people owe me things, and hopefully they're available and present. And you know, it's in a sense to build community, in a sense to work outside of finance, where it's not always like, oh, I'll pay for this, I'll pay for that. It's like, let me get you back on that favor. You know, like you people are okay buying people beers at the bar,
right?
But they're less interested in, you know what I mean, like offering just a couple bucks here and there. And sometimes that's all people need. They need a few minutes, an extra set of hands. You can't move a couch by yourself. That's the idea. You know what I mean? Like I need a second set of hands. Help me move this couch. I mean, you kind of can, but you know what I mean?
Well, if you need help moving your couch, let me know. I'm so happy that I asked you, Joey, for a minute of your time here for the Foul Ball podcast with Brad B and Catalyst, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you, Joey. Seriously, thank you so much for your time today, and also all of your time and effort leading up to today. I'm so excited to see what else is in store for us as a community, provided by yourself and your friends and buddies. And you guys check out Imaginary Learning. It's available on YouTube. Check out Joey's page, Feel Freedom, on Facebook. And thank you once again, Joey. Do you have anything to say to the people before we boogie out of here?
Hey, thanks a lot, Catalyst. I really appreciate this. Like, I wasn't sure, and I don't know, I should have known that you were interested in so many projects, because I forget, man. Like, and to me, it's not about what happened in 2000 or 2005 or 8 or 10 or 12. You know what I mean? Now it's about what's happening in the winter of 2020, man. Like, what's next? You know? And it's like, I think we should all take these moments, these changes, you know, and run with them, embrace that. Like, I want to turn my whole neighborhood into Oak Street. Like, I know that's not on everybody's agenda, but like, I want to see more art, more music, more things happening. And again, I know it's a pandemic, so we're going to play it safe, but embrace the culture and let's move forward. Let's localize. Let's become more autonomous. Let's celebrate what economic democracy looks like. Let's celebrate life. Life's short. We're all going to be dead in like 100 years. Like, let's make the most of every single moment, you know, live it up. Say hello to each other, wave, say what's up, speak your mind. Let's talk about things. Let's do things. Let's celebrate. Let's live it up, man. Let's live it the fuck up, people.
Now you heard Joey G. Thank you for leading the way, man. And I'm cheering for you. And it's just a pleasure to be your friend and to know you. And listen, man, have a great afternoon. So from the Foul Ball Podcast, Catalyst, Brad B, this is Joey G, man. Thank you so much, Joey.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Peace. Appreciate it.